Support the official merchandise indeed, especially in the new age of Star Fox. You know, because of a certain event of galactic proportions. Either way, true fan wonder why this series isn't just called Star Fox the Animated Series. For the record, it did at one point, but you know how the big N is. Not worth the risk. Also, the stag noise in the background adds to this being an old series, which, I mean, 10 years does feel like the 1960s, but it was actually 2016. You're old and so am I. Oh man, the way all the sound is made to fit the old television vibe is crisp. No stone left unturned.
Previously on A Fox in Space.
And wait, a previously to a non-existent episode? Nah, but I love the fact that we're left to fill in the blanks of what would have been in between these scenes. It also leaves enough information where you know exactly what happens for this episode. It really sells that this is merely one of a long-running series from another timeline where Nintendo funded a Star Fox cartoon. Matthew Gafford is a genius. The actual depiction is a retelling of the Fortuna mission from Star Fox 64, even though a lot of the aesthetic is catering to the Super Nintendo game. I mean, 64 is a retelling of the Lilat Wars, and Star Fox 2 would have introduced Star Wolf up until cancellation. So, era blending win. Also, to keep continuity with 64, A Fox in Space decided to call it Fortuna, which, if you didn't know, it really should be called Ficina, as was the case in Assault.
Ficina, huh? Just great. There's nothing here but snow and ice.
Fortuna on the SNES game is the series' original dinosaur planet before Saria. That'd be like if we're still calling Final Fantasy VI by 3 instead. Considering other things later in the episode, nah. Seeing this as a continuation of the Fortuna battle is cool, and considering Andros isn't dead yet, Venom would not have happened yet. And they are defeated here, making Sector X not part of the current route. It really gives the whole game of Star Fox Season 4 the perspective of a multi-year event. It is a little bit funny how this entire episode plays before the next mission. Chronologically, anyway. To bring it up now, most of these voices are Matthew's extremely talented voice acting at play. The mains Fox, Falco, Peppy, Wolf, Leon, and not to mention Andros are all him. He manages to make them all sound completely unique, which, how? And he did quite a bit of the music and sound effects too, with help from Stuart Bartlett and Ian Marinov. Oh, of course, he animated the whole episode. You know what, just take 10 wins right now. And the one I denied from the Fortuna confusion. Wait, Katina Comfort? Starwolf went to the other base relay level to lick their wounds. I mean, it isn't possible to go to Fortuna, then Katina, so... yeah, I can buy that they go there next. Especially right behind Star Fox. Okay, maybe Star Fox is a bit further along past Solar. And maybe even past my pet's hard route, because...
yeah, that's just a little upgrade.
That's a Wolf and Tooth of Venom hard path. For the longest time, I thought this was James McCloud's grave. But not only might he not be dead, this is a memorial for a group called the Red Sevens, which I can't find any resources about. However, the name Jack Dallas McCloud is there, implying that this might be Fox's grandfather in this universe, or some other ancestor. Either way, cool lore detail makes you ask a lot of questions. And yeah, solid plan. Catch Fox off guard right on the day he pays respects to the Red Sevens memorial. Underhanded, but isn't that kind of the whole thing with Star Wolf? Yeah, Star Fox isn't the nickname of Fox McCloud. That's what this whole episode debunks. Though, if the canon is taking place in the middle of 64, does that imply this moment in Venom is Andros mocking the name?
I've been waiting for you, Star Fox.
Maybe, but in Beloved Falco and Adventures, he does call him by his real name.
I've been looking forward to this day, to see you again, Fox McCloud.
Holy shit. It's really him.
You know, I appreciate that the enemies still see Fox McCloud as a legendary starfighter. Like, there's a difference between finding a spaceship and seeing the guy in person. It's basically like seeing a celebrity on television versus actually seeing them physically. It's a real feeling, even if you don't like them. Okay, this animation is kind of goofier with the rotoscoping, but that would be how old rotoscoping tends to be, so it's fun. And I'll forgive it because Matthew got way better at it later with some of his marketing material. Fun stuff if you're itching for more of this, even if they're out of sale by now.
Your biggest fan.
Now this moment wouldn't necessarily get a win on its own, but now having the context of episode 2...
You know I'm your biggest fan.
This hits a lot harder. 2 wins for the... For backshadowing, because the next episode is a prequel, and yet in context it's already happened episodes ago. Oh man, the jazzy rendition of the Star Fox map screen for the Super Nintendo is so good. It took me a bit to realize that's what this was, but the general rhythm is the same between the 2 tracks, just double timed I believe. Right, so we get some nice flying from Fox for the intro, with Falco doing repairs on his ship, along with Peppy and Slippy playing a game, only for Peppy to lose getting mildly irritated. He even rants about this in this little notebook we see after the fact. Here's what it says if you're curious. I caught my ass handed to me last night playing a tournament with Slippy. He's too good with his tech, and even on unlimited stock, he still manages to take me out. I think I need to find another game. That's awesome. The other half of the paper, I assume written by Fox this time, says this 10 days later. It's been 3 days since our debrief from Fortuna. Peppy tells me how he's got something we need to talk about regarding my father and that Pigma guy who teamed up with Star Wolf and his friends. General Pepper told us yesterday that Star Wolf is already being accounted for, but I found no answers or detainment seconds when searching Corneria or Fortuna. Kind of weird both of them have the same handwriting, but it's probably the professional way to write in this universe. Besides, you can tell it's someone different because Fox makes a few mistakes while writing his C date. Oh hey, that's a blue marine! Too bad the route we're taking won't lead to Aquas. Heh, wait, a frog and what I assume is a crocodile are wanted for homicide/armed robbery? Wonder what their deal is. Ah, jeez, Fox lost a few lives when ending up back in Meteo. Dang it! Even if I am to believe all the Lilat's Law jargon, ultimately they know they're serving very underhanded tactics. They are hired guns for one side of the Lilat Wars. I mean...
We are taking you to Andros.
Andros?
Yeah, that would explain things.
Believe it or not, he's actually kind of a fan.
Because James... It's because of James, isn't it?
Yeah, I bet that's exactly what he told you, too.
You know, I would be just as skeptical, but also Andros would reassure Wolf about his intentions, whether he's lying or not. If you know anything about this show, it's this joke.
Can't you just take my word for it that I don't have robotic legs?
And if you don't get it, here's a brief explanation of the reference. There's a very old and debunked theory that the Star Fox team had their legs amputated in order to sustain G-forces in their R-wings more easily. Not only does the existence of G-diffusers debunk this theory outright,
check your G-diffuser system,
but also the creators shot the theory down with a bomb. But anyway, in universe, this has to be some kind of insane theory Wolf believes in. I mean, he was defeated by Fox and Fortuna. Why else would he be defeated so easily?
You're serious.
Well, you know...
I mean, this whole exchange is so iconic, and about as quotable as the actual game.
People talk, word gets around. I'm genuinely curious.
I can see it.
Man, you heard about the fact Star Fox had their legs amputated? No wonder they're so good.
Fine. See? They're 100% stock.
Gotta hand it to Fox for actually showing his legs. Though he didn't have shoes already, so... Oh well, it leads to this.
Whoa, hey, I fully support whatever this is. I don't judge.
Iconic moment. 2 wins for 2 fully intact legs.
We're meeting Andros in the Sargasso Lounge.
Sargasso Lounge? I love me some Star Fox Assault! And I can totally buy that this station is more than what's seen in the game.
Okay. Because you know if you try anything, I can just break your neck, right?
Whatever.
I believe him with that look.
I stacked your stuff neatly in the corner of the cargo bay.
Okay, the clear juxtaposition between what Wolf is saying versus the actual actions being portrayed is a good visual gag. Love it, it pays off in a funny way later. Fox calling it childish makes it all the better.
That is just so childish.
Okay, I gotta respect Matthew for understanding the characters super well. Slippy is a very essential part of the team, and despite having a clear stutter, he is the smartest one of the group. I mean, if you weren't paying attention to Slippy during the intro being a game with Peppy, this is where you can see, even sleep-deprived, he can work on what looks like a very basic computer interface, with command lines and stuff. Also understand what Falco meant by
Do the computer check thingy.
is very relatable. Wait, that's James Bautino on the poster right beside the modern Star Fox. That's some good foreshadowing of the episode order. And man, I believe the Star Fox team has a history together. It's not like Nintendo didn't do a good job communicating that they are an essential unit, but this show portrays them in a realistic light. All while Fox isn't even there. Them being concerned and confused why he's left really adds to this. The Super Effects computer is a really nice nod considering Star Fox as a game was only possible because of the Super Effects chip. Without it, there would be no Star Fox. That does look like the same space station as Assault. Nice touch. Good to remind us that Fox is that. Did Wolf just slap his band-aid on Fox's back? What a prick! And I like that there is a very clear height difference between the two. It makes me think, yeah, obviously, but then I think about it more and I'm like, wait, we didn't see this a lot in the games. Good detail.
Well, have some whiskey with me. That should warm you up a bit.
Thanks, but I don't drink.
That is so cute.
Look, whether or not Fox is of age to drink doesn't matter. I respect my non-alcoholic homies of any age. Also, yes, I did notice the jazzy rendition of the Super Nintendo Corneria theme.
Next stop, Sargassum Lounge. Enjoy your stay.
Jesus, floor is freezing.
I didn't grow up with the first game, but the soundtrack is just as iconic to me as the N64 one. It's funny how Corneria's anthem, I'll call it, is playing on what's at least a neutral, if not a mostly, Venomian mercenary base.
I'm not gonna lose my cool in a bar full of Venomian mercenaries.
You say that, Fox, but...
See? I told you he was Star Fox.
Oh, for God's sake.
What?
Look at Wolf's reaction, bro. He's not sure how to handle this situation. But yeah, I bet Metroid is tired of being called Samus, Zelda being tired of being called Link, Green Mario being tired of being called Luigi. Did I miss a few?
Weren't you friends with that Fox guy?
I don't know.
You know, now I'm curious how that went down. The fact Andrew doesn't know what happened implies that Fox broke it off, which, yeah, being Andross's nephew does kinda suck, doesn't it?
What the heck is your deal?
Okay, I love the fact that he says heck, not only to reference this iconic line,
What the heck?
but I like that some characters swear and others don't.
No shit.
Realism.
Is everyone just forever gonna not learn my name?
I understand the frustration, Fox. I mean, Kid Icarus getting tired of being called Pit, Ash is tired of being called Red, and also Pauline being tired of being called P. Oh, okay, I'm done with the bit. But I do like that this guy asks one more time.
So, are you really Star Fox?
And for a bit of growth of character...
Yeah, sure. Whatever.
Also, Wolf is clearly having fun. That's a separate win. That's the music player from Adventures! Cue that remix! Hey! Gonichu is quite the cameo. From what little I can gather, I think this game, and this comic strip no matter, is one of Matthew's personal interests he decided to make reference to. There's this image he supposedly drew of the Gonichu alligator character in the same style, so maybe he's to cameo in episode 3, or in that original series Gafford wants to do after. Either way, the game is dirt cheap on Steam if you want to check it out. By the way, I like that the trio all have a lapse in memory of Fox's tradition. I can personally attest that I've been in a few situations where me and a group are all trying to remember something, and then one of us finally does. Slippy being the one to remember is not only in character, but also if no one was a friend enough to remind him to
Slow it down, Slippy.
Intelligence and sternness aren't mutually exclusive. Realism. I also like that Pepe's like, I don't think I quite follow. Further disproving that the memorial is related to Jane specifically. But of course, Falco would know Fox well enough to know what Slippy means. Rob 64! Although it's the one from Adventures in Assault, not the actual Rob 64. I mean, I've never thought of it too much until I saw Captain Red Glove's animations depicting him, so the fact it took me this long to notice the discrepancy must say something. I do like that he's carrying the box you break in the game when answering his calls, when Pepe mentions Fox not answering his calls. Irony. Wait, so is the signal that Fox is RAing being damaged delayed because how far Papatoon is? Or are these scenes in the past tense? For the sake of simplicity, I think it's the former, but you could interpret it either way. Win. Alright, small thing, but I like how all the angles in this room are extremely accurate to scale. It's probably just a 3D reference, but the style matches so well it's hard to tell if it's a render or just drawn over. There's the Venom anthem being played on piano.
Whole rivalry thing between us since we were in academy.
I guess Sargasso is a neutral base.
Wolf, you know, I'm aware there's been this whole rivalry thing between us since we were in academy.
Okay, so the academy comment here. If you don't get what I mean, if what we're told in episode 2 is to be believed, then the last time Fox has seen Wolf in person before he says,
Your biggest fan.
was 10 years ago. It's very much possible they could have still been rivals in academy, but I don't know. It doesn't feel coherent to what Wolf says, especially if they knew each other following the decade. So I think this part of the conversation got retconned. Unless episode 3 will make sense of it. Doubt it. You probably noticed that nearly everything Wolf is doing is just being petty. I mean, he's not only delivering Fox over to Andros, but he's also abandoned his clothes back in Papatoon, all because of his ego getting cracked open. As we'll see in episode 2, he's not just mad about the money, even though he claims to be.
You screwed me and my friends out of a lot of money, kiddo.
He's taking this moment to humiliate wherever he can.
I think he just wants to talk about what happened on Fortuna.
Okay, so Fortuna happened recently enough that no other happenings have occurred, so perhaps Star Fox didn't go to Macbeth yet. Otherwise, Andros would also have a good talk about that as well. Speaking of the head himself...
Fox McCloud, where are my manners? So exhilarating to finally meet you in person.
Okay, here's a cool detail a good number of people noticed. Andros calls him Fox McCloud, whereas other Venomians call him Star Fox. I guess he does admire him, but later I'm sure he'll be mocking him with that name.
I've been waiting for you, Star Fox.
Which again, he reverts in Adventures.
To see you again, Fox McCloud.
Where are the rest of his clothes?
Where?
Uh-oh, Wolf can't lie to Andros like he did with Fox. So it's very well assumed that this will be where he has to reveal where his clothes went. Right in front of both of them. But yeah, this direction where Andros wanted Fox to be treated with respect really shows how much he takes professionalism seriously. I mean, this is James McCloud's son. The one he either killed or brainwashed or... well, we don't know yet in this continuity. There's a reason, and it's going to be big. And to further confirm the story, Falco is at Papatoon to find Fox's total Darwing, and his clothes tied on the ground, having collected dust.
But wherever he is, I bet he ain't having a good time.
What? What? Yep. This last still frame, with this killer cliffhanger, is where episode 1 ends. For 10 years, this iconic shot of Falco holding on to Fox's clothes is where we're all left with awaiting the 3rd episode. Like I said before, episode 2 is a prequel. There are a few clips of episode 3 going around, but personally I refuse to watch them until it's complete. It's painful, but I can't help but love it. A Fox in Space. I'll be very honest, I haven't heard of this series until years later after the first episode premiered. And then it took me another year for me to finally watch it and wait for episode 2, like everyone else. But it didn't deter my admiration for both these episodes. Matthew Gafford brought together Star Fox fans from all over the world for even before the first episode was aired. And his continual effort to work on episode 2 and currently episode 3 can't be expressed how grateful we all are. Star Fox as a series up until extremely recently has just been seen as a very dead franchise, especially after Star Fox Zero. The funny part is that the game came out 4 days before this episode premiered. I'm not gonna do the usual Star Fox Zero ruined the series bit like most people do. I personally love it. However, I think I'm not the only one to say that Fox in Space did a lot more to celebrate Star Fox than Nintendo had while trying to justify and force their console gimmicks when no one asked for it. Like it or not, A Fox in Space is what truly kept the Star Fox fanbase from giving up on the series. From having a more grounded narrative that respects all the series lore, while still bringing in new ideas to the table, like the stories between missions and really seeing more of the world and characters.
Come on, you know it's for everyone's safety. Don't touch the bars.
If Nintendo is really bringing a new game to the Switch too, like the rumors are speculating, I want them to respect all of what came before it just as much as this. I am just as much of a Star Fox fan as I am a Donkey Kong Country fan. So if they can bring a Bonanza level game for the other series I care about a lot, then the series will find its vigor once more. But back to the actual episode. Well, it holds up. The animation is very well done for mostly a solo venture. In the credits there was a section for additional artwork done by 5 other people, though this is still in that Gafford style he continues to perfect in the upcoming episode. I don't know if I'll do a fan EGA about episode 2, as that is 3 times as long as this with even more deep cut references. This was just a fun project I wanted to do in celebration of one of my favorite fan projects outside of the Mario World sphere. I love this series, and if there's other wins I didn't consider, that just means there's more to enjoy than I pointed out. Thank you all for watching.
Hey, kiddo, you remember me? Your biggest fan.